Hey, thanks for joining me again. Okay, so today I'm going to be sharing with you my gear list of what I take with me on a early morning, cool autumn day hike for like 1 to 2 hour kind of day hike. Um, but before I get into that, I just want to share with you the super awesome experience I just had. This is one of the main reasons why I come out here. So, and why I love coming out here. I just came within like 15 paces of one of those bighorn sheep. It was massive. And I was going along the spine of some rocky outcropping. And I've been waiting for like 3 months to see one of these. I've been hearing about them. And finally came across one. And it totally made my day. And he had no other place to go. He was coming my way. I was going up his way. Because we're on this spine, and then he like turned off and went down, an area where he was able to. But it was just like at first he was kind of scared, and then I like paused and I sent him a lot of good vibes, and he stopped, and we just kind of shared a beautiful moment, and it totally made my day. So anyway, if I didn't already have another million reasons to come out here and do this, that it was just icing on the cake for me. Anyway, so to the gear list. I'm going to start off with my backpack, with my day pack, and just kind of tell you what the features that I have and what I put in there. Excuse me that I'm going to be reaching over constantly for this video, but it's how it's going to go. All right, so here's the backpack I'm currently using. It's a Bergens of Norway. Don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but probably it's how it looks like. It's a 12-liter day pack. Has like a rigid back panel, and a couple things that I've changed on it is that it had these like two sternum straps that were like elastic shock cords, and I didn't really like those very much. The lower one was too tight. I couldn't get it loose enough, and the upper one I wasn't able to put the magnet for my Osprey bladder onto, so I swapped those out and put just a regular strap that I had from an older pack onto this, so now I can have that little Osprey magnet for my hydration pack on there. Another thing that I've added is a hard case, sunglass case to this. I found that's really, really important to have. So I used to smash my sunglasses, and then ever since I started implementing one of these things and using them, I have not broken a single pair, thank goodness. And then the next thing on here is that it has a shock cord on the outside, which I like to be able to attach like a spare jacket or something to, especially if the contents of this are maxed out. Then it's nice to be able to put my other jacket or a rain shell or whatever on the back. And those are the main features of the backpack that I want to share. Now, the stuff that I put in it. So, as I mentioned a moment ago, I carry an Osprey Hydraulics 3-liter bladder with it's got a quick disconnect and whatever. I've done another video on that. You can check that out if you like. But I like having the 3-liter one just because even if it's a shorter hike and I don't need 3 liters of water, I can always fill it up partially like I did on this hike today. And then, in the hot, 115-degree summers, I got the 3 liters that are there for me when I need it, plus whatever extra bottles that I take with me. And then sunglasses. These are just a pair of natives, which I've done. Most of this stuff I've done other videos on, which you can check out on this channel if you're interested. Sunglasses, headlamp. I always have a headlamp, and I always take a set of 3 AAA spare batteries with me. I like these rechargeable ones, these like Energizer rechargeable ones. I have one of those charger ports that you just plug them into. What I found is that the Petzl headlamps, they fit into them just fine. I don't know if it's all the Black Diamond ones or just the Black Diamond one that I have, and maybe some of their other models, but you can't put these rechargeable batteries into the Black Diamond headlamp, at least the Cosmo that I have. So, and for many other reasons, I'm a much bigger fan of Petzl headlamps over the Black Diamond ones. I just think they're much better designed and they work a lot better. And that's another reason that I can use rechargeable batteries. Next item. So when it's chilly like this, I like to have my gloves, my gwubs. These are just a pair of sealskin. They're not waterproof, but mainly they're fleece and they're kind of water resistant. They're like a soft shell kind of deal. They did not, I added on to these things. They didn't come with these, but I added, I cannibalized this thing off of another pair of old gloves that I have. And it's like one of these clips to clip them together so that they don't get lost, because that sucks if you lose your gloves and you need them. Yeah, you don't want them blown away. And yeah, and another thing that I added is these. I just made these shock cords and attach these to these as well. And what these are for is just a little leash you put around your wrist. And I always have these things. I always put these things on so that if I need to take the gloves off a hummingbird just came to visit me. That's awesome. Another great reason to come out here. So yeah. Anyway, I was saying about these leashes. So I added these leashes so that I can just kind of let go of take my gloves off, let go of them, do whatever I need to do, and then throw them back on without getting one blown off a mountain or whatever. And then another little trick that I've realized to do is I never take them off, or I try to never take them off before I clip them together. That way there's less of a likelihood of one of them getting blown off if it gets set down. Next item, don't really need it on a sunrise hike, and in fact, this is something that I've debated over the years if I really need it at all. There's been a small handful of times where it's actually come in handy for me, or it would have come in handy for me, I should say. But I just don't know if I really need a sunglass retainer. I've bought and given away a number of these because I haven't really used them. This one I also haven't really used, but I like having it for just that one time when I actually do need it. Here's the next thing. I have a Ziploc bag. I use one of these old almond bags from TJ's, filled with what we call mountain money. It's basically just paper towels and little napkins and toilet paper and stuff, so that if you gotta go, you can go. And just make sure you bury it properly, dig a nice hole and bury it properly. But apart from the obvious use of that, it's also good that if you cut yourself, I use it as a bandage. I don't take Band-Aids and stuff like that with me. I take paper towels and where is it? Here it is. Paper towels and mini roll of duct tape. Anything that I can do with a Band-Aid, I can do better with paper towel and Band-Aid and duct tape. And this is more versatile and it works better and it holds better. So this is just a little mini roll of duct tape that I made. I made it with a little loop so that I could put it on a keychain or something, which I don't really do these days anymore. But this has multiple uses apart from the one I just mentioned. It's also really good for repairing stuff. Like duct tape is one of those universal tools that you can fix, most things or many things with. So it's just nice to have it with you. Especially like if you blow out a sole on your shoe or something like that, just duct tape it up. Or if you have a little, like I said, a little injury, just duct tape it. And then the other gear repair item that I have that I think is important to have is spare at least one bootlace or shoelace. I have two because I just threw away a pair of boots that I retired that finally crapped out on me. But you only really, I would take at least one. Definitely good to have at least one, because if you blow out a bootlace when you're on the trail, you're not going to be happy. It's you definitely want to be able to replace it if need be, and that's what I should have done from the beginning, is tie that up like that, so it wouldn't be such a mess. Yeah, you definitely want to be able to have like a spare bootlace so that if you blow out a bootlace, you can hike out of there without getting a bunch of blisters. Or if you have your roll of duct tape, you'll just have to tape your boot together. Another good reason to have the duct tape. Next items I got here. Oh yeah, this is another important one. In fact, I should put some of this on. I don't often get chapped lips, but sometimes I do, and this happens to be one of those times. When it starts getting, dry like this, sometimes I get chapped lips. I don't like using that chemical crap. I like this Waxoline stuff, and these things I find just last forever. I've had this thing for a good couple of years. I guess because I don't use it that much. But not only is it awesome for chapped lips, it's also a really good handy tool if you're on if you're getting some chafing in the crotch area. You just put a little bit of that on it, and it butters you right up and saves you from major discomfort. Okay, next things that I have here are I have 2 neck gaiters. Okay, one of them I put on my head as a beanie, and the other I put on my neck as a neck gaiter. And if I, if it's really cold, I'll pull them up and down so you can just see my eyes, and I look like a ninja. Not with this green. I mean, I don't look like a ninja when I'm wearing this green thing, but I have 2 black ones that make me really look like a ninja. I like that. And then if it's really cold, on top of that, then I will put on top of the neck gaiter that I'm wearing on my head. I have one of these fleece ear warmer things, and it's got this is one of those Columbia ones. It has one of these reflective heat reflective linings on the inside. I like these too. These are cool. I like having it super lightweight too, as for the rest of that stuff too. And then I've got me I'm not wearing it right now, but I have with me, this is especially better if I, if it's a lot colder, that I want to have a spare synthetic t-shirt. This is just some super lightweight, super small, compressible Arc'teryx t-shirt. I forget what the name of the model is, but I did a long time ago did a video on this, and yeah, I like that. And then I have a fleece jacket. A couple features I like to have on a fleece jacket is, actually, truth is I prefer one that has a hood, but it's okay if it doesn't too, because all these other things that I do. And then if I really need a hood, I have my rain shell that has a hood on it. And a couple features for a fleece. This one doesn't actually have all the features that I like to have on one, but I like having a full zip so I can regulate my body temperature better. And I like having 2 zippered pockets right over here, so I generally will put as I need to remove, as I'm hiking and I'm heating up and I need to remove certain items like these neck gaiters or those ear warmers or those gloves, I just stuff them in these pockets so I don't have to take off the backpack and throw it in the backpack and whatever. Then I can just kind of drop them and go. And then another thing that this one does not have, which I wish it did, is one of those cinch cords around the waist so that it can trap the heat. This one is kind of baggy on the bottom, and so the heat just kind of, it doesn't get trapped, it just kind of escapes. I would definitely prefer to have one that has a little shock cord around the waist so that it keeps it nice and snug over there and it traps the heat better. And then lastly here, well, not lastly, but in the backpack anyway, I've got the just a little stuff sack that I use to organize some of that stuff inside my backpack. And then some other obvious, well, not obvious necessarily, but some other things that I wear on a hike like this is I'll have a cap, and then I recently got this Under Armour long sleeve synthetic shirt, and I got a pair of synthetic shorts that I like, and I got this here. I'm wearing these, I've showed you these before if you've seen my other videos. I'm currently wearing these Ultra Lone Peak hiking shoes, and I got these gaiters. These are the REI Activator gaiters that I modified a little bit to work with those. Oh, and the socks I'm using, in case you're interested, these are the Darn Tough ones. They're really thick and they last a long time. And I like that they're really thick because they help fill up some of the space inside these shoes. These shoes are really like, if I'm wearing thinner socks, my feet are kind of swimming around in them, and I don't like that. I like them to be a little bit more form-fitting. I like having I like to be able to wiggle my toes and everything, but I like my feet to fill the space of the shoes. It prevents rolled ankles, I find, a little bit better. So yeah, so I like those thick socks in there. And lastly, not lastly, there's always more, you know. Then I got this here watch. It's just a Timex watch that, you know, I did another video on that one. I added one of these little Sunto compasses onto the watch, and that helps me. I like always just knowing which way I'm facing. Like, I have a pretty good sense of orientation, but if it's dark, or if I arrive at some place and I get disoriented or whatever, and it's nighttime or whatever, then it helps to just look down and see it and know where I'm facing. And then I got this thing, which if you've seen the video on this, then you've seen it. I'm not going to tell you much about it. I'll just tell you the few things that I have in there, since I'm telling you everything I'm carrying around with me anyway. Fob for the car and some keys. And then I get wallet with all those contents, and tissue, and oh, my little pen. Always like to have a pen and something to write with. I have some little pieces of paper to write on in my wallet, and I got one of these Bluetooth earpieces, which I'm intending to do a video on it at some point. We'll see, but yeah. I like having one of these with me. I don't always use it when I'm hiking. In fact, a lot of times I don't like to be listening to something when I'm hiking. I prefer just, you know, being in the nature and hearing the sounds around me, or the lack of sounds oftentimes. But I do like, I don't typically listen to music when I'm hiking. If I'm listening to anything, it's going to be like some kind of self-development audiobook or podcast or something like that, because that's the kind of stuff I'm into. And then I always have a pair of earplugs, and I just put these things in one of these little pockets in here. And I think that's all I got in here. Anyway, let me know if you got any questions, or if you or if you want me to do any other kinds of particular videos for any other kinds of weather patterns like this. Oh, and also, obviously, I have my phone and the little stand, the little tripod thing that I have on it. It's one of these little Gorilla Pods. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Starting to ramble here, so I'm going to cut out and make my way out of here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.